Pretty good place to take lunch. Sitting on this little bridge and this like log thing, eating lunch and soaking my feet. So I was coming down the trail and there was a sign that said trail magic this way, and took a side trail and voila, sandwiches and cookies and chips and drinks and all kinds of amazing trail magic provided by this kind lady here. Ma'am, what is your name?
Connie Trail.
Connie. And why in the hell do you want to feed stinky, nasty hikers?
You're doing something that I would probably love to do and be one like you.
Well, thank you very, very much. You're an amazing person. Currently headed to the famous Timberline Lodge, where most PCT hikers know it for their amazing buffet. And it's supposed to be one of the best meals on the trail, if not the best. Today ended up being a pretty killer day. We hiked like 14 miles into Timberline Lodge around Mount Hood, which was absolutely beautiful, and then got in there and absolutely destroyed the lunch buffet. Hung out for a little bit, wallowed in our own self-pity from eating all that food, and then tomorrow we'll have like a 35-mile into Cascade Locks, and then that is it. That's all of Oregon. Been cruising all morning. Today is going to end up being a 35-mile day, but the end of that 35 miles, ladies and gentlemen, is Washington. So I've been cruising with this fellow up here. That's Fez. Say hello, sir. Got into Cascade Locks day before yesterday. Went across the bridge so we could make sure that we say that we are done with Oregon. And then Fez and I and Racer X decided to take a day off here in Cascade Locks. So yesterday had a real good zero, did a bunch of resupplying, actually sent myself a bunch of boxes and grabbed what I need. Swapped out some gear. I actually picked up a new pack, and I'm actually swapping out to a new filter just to test some new stuff out for the last 500 miles. Fez is just back there, still getting some water. Haven't seen Racer X all day, so I don't know where he went. He ended up leaving town, I guess, earlier this morning, and didn't really hear from him yesterday, so I guess he's doing his own thing, and Fez and I are rocking it out together, so. Got a pretty early start on the day today. Woke up at about 4 a.m. Started hiking about 4:30. This morning was nice and cruisy. Now I have this monster climb to do in like a 13-mile dry section with no water. Carrying some extra water. And it's 7 a.m. It's already pretty hot and humid. Sun's not even hitting me yet and it's pretty hot. Still haven't seen X. Fez is just a couple feet ahead of me. Slam this big monster climb out of the way, and then the rest of the day should be pretty smooth sailing. That's good. Found a really good campsite for the night next to this pretty nice lake, but unfortunately, there's a ton of mosquitoes outside, so eating inside the tent. Today was pretty nice. We did 32 miles by 5 o'clock. It's starting to get really, really hot by like 10 o'clock now, so getting up and getting a day out of the way pretty early is kind of key. Terrain is starting to get a little bit steep. We're definitely starting to get into the North Cascades a little bit. Really nice, long, steep climbs. But gonna finish up eating dinner, maybe dip my feet back in the lake and conk out for the night. So today ended up being a pretty amazing day towards the end. Half the day was kind of crummy, so didn't film a lot. The end of the day, we definitely started getting up in elevation. Definitely started becoming a lot more beautiful and alpine-y. Hiked right next to Mount Adams, basically all day long. But you know, I gotta be honest, I've just been really wore out in the last couple of days. Basically ever since we crossed into Washington. And it's been kind of hard to enjoy the trail every day. I think that most people that do a through hike or some sort of long distance hike, right there towards the end, you start just getting mentally wore out, physically wore out, much easier every day. And as much as it's beautiful, you know, the trail's beautiful, the scenery is beautiful, it's hard sometimes. It's hard not to think about like not being on trail. It's hard to think about the idea of not hiking because you're towards the end and you want to be done. At the same time, you want to stay out there and you want to enjoy the beauty, but it just gets hard. And I think that I'm mentally going through that right now. I'm mentally wore out from the trail. It's nice and cool this morning on the trail. Just dropped down from kind of the alpine high elevation zone. Just kind of cruising these nice big long flats, which is a nice change in the last couple of days of all the super humid, hot, steep climbs. This is pretty snazzy. Got up at 4 a.m. like usual this morning, started hiking by 5 and got a pretty awesome sunset. Don't really know how far I'm gonna go today, but the whole point of today is to set up for getting into White Pass tomorrow. And White Pass is gonna be where I'm gonna pick up a resupply box to resupply me for another 3 days. And they have a restaurant, so get a little bit of town food. Today is Fez's birthday, so not much celebrating you can do out here on the trail when you're in the middle of nowhere. So the plan is to get there tomorrow and have kind of like a birthday lunch and maybe a beer. Looks like it is going to storm. 116 days on the trail and hasn't rained or stormed once, but yeah. It is so unreal beautiful out here. Look at this behind me. Awesome, huge morale booster from yesterday. It's just incredible. Washington does not disappoint. I gotta say, Cascades, they've definitely won my heart over. Well, I am still hiking. A little bit past what time I wanted to stop. And there was a tent site I was supposed to meet Fez at about 2 miles back, and there were people in it, and Fez was not there. And then every other tent site that I've tried to stop at past that, there are people in it, and Fez is not there. So, looks like I'm gonna have a late night tonight, and it's gonna be a little bit bigger of a day than I wanted it to. It's a big day, it's a hard day, but this has probably been one of the most beautiful days I think I've ever had on trail, so I guess it's worth it. Hopefully Fez will be down at this next spot that I'm going to, this lake, because it's his birthday, and I want to sing him happy birthday before the night's over, because you got to do it out here. No Fez, so I eat and I camp alone tonight, and I don't get to sing Fez happy birthday. You know what? Happy birthday to Fez. Happy birthday to Fez. Happy birthday to Fez. Happy birthday to Fez.